Hey people, FlyingSoul still alive from Novosibirsk. And yeah, I got the Sputnik V, I got vaccinated. And now I'm gonna tell you the process, how I got the vaccine and why I got the vaccine, what's my opinion about it, and plus some updates about the situation here in Siberia. Now, let's start, let's make a bit of a step backward, no? And how everything started. Now, let's say that, first of all, I'm not exactly pro-vaccine, and of course, I don't mind other people doing it, but actually, personally, I prefer to have the choice not to get vaccinated. But beside that, another reason why I didn't want to get vaccinated was because there wasn't any agreement between Italy and Russia about the vaccine. So the vaccine that are available in Italy are not recognized in Russia and vice versa. So that's why I was waiting for it. But then what happened? I visited my family in Italy for Christmas holidays, and the situation there is extremely bad, really, really bad. I don't know which country you come from, but if you come, for example, from Australia or some few countries where the restriction extremely strong, you probably might understand it. So you barely can do anything if you're not vaccinated. And even if you're vaccinated, you still need all the shots, you need a negative test, and go around with a special mask, not even any mask, but a special mask that the government says you must have. Otherwise, you can barely do anything. You just have to stay home, like a lockdown for the not vaccinated. Okay, so that was the main reason why, when I come back to here to Russia, where the situation is a bit different, I'm gonna tell you about it, I decided to get vaccinated because I was tired of restriction. I want to be free to move, and especially when we talk about the vaccine, Sputnik V, it's recognized now in more than 74 countries, and most of those countries are countries I'm interested in to visit. So that's why it was interesting for me, beside going around and having a normal life over here in Russia, I can also travel to some of those countries. So that's for me was very important. So I decided to get shot. Okay. Now I actually got only the first shot. You know, the Sputnik V consists in two different shots, which are actually two different vaccines in order to cover you completely at the distance of 21 days. Now I got the first shot a week ago, let's say 8 days exactly, and I probably got the worst reaction ever than anybody. So I got information on the internet and through my acquaintances who got vaccinated and acquaintances of acquaintances, and it seemed to be quite light, the reaction that you are expected to have from the vaccine. But mine was really strong. Now, even now, at this moment, I'm still not fully recovered. I have a bit of a dizziness, which causes me sometimes nausea and cold sweat, and plus I'm really weak, so I suffer from weakness now. And this is probably the things that annoys me the most, because as you might know, I do gym, and when I can't train properly, I just become angry because of it, because I can't do that. So it really annoys me. I hope the next day will be better, but at this moment, right now, after 8 days, I still feel the consequences of the vaccine. Now, here in Russia, so as I said, about all my acquaintances, nobody had such reaction. So the general reaction is no symptoms, or just fever for a couple of days, and then that's all. Just like 2 days, 3 days maximum, and that everything is finished. In my case, was completely different, really, really strong. And now I'm even afraid to get a second shot, but I think I will go through the whole process anyway. Now, how's the situation here in Russia? As I told you, in Italy, the situation is really bad, really, really bad with restrictions. And here in Russia, it's not that bad. Let's say that at the moment, the present moment I'm telling you, when I'm making this video, we are in the middle of January 2022. The situation is like, if you do not have the QR code, which you can get only through vaccination, you can't go to any amusement places like bar, restaurants, or clubs, and some services to the person, like, I don't know, beauty salon or something like that. Besides that, you can almost go anywhere as long as you wear the mask, of course. So you can take public transports, you can go to work, and it's pretty normal in that way. There is a bit difference of such places like cinemas, for example, or gym, where you don't need a QR code only if there are less than 100 people. So if you go in like in a timetable when there are less people, usually in the morning, you shouldn't have a problem. I, for example, train only in the morning, so when I go to the gym, I mean, so I don't need the QR code. Let's say that also besides that, many bars and many places actually where you're expected to have the QR code, they do not actually check it. Of course, if police comes and finds you without QR code, you get in trouble. But the owner of the places, many places, do not ask for QR code. Let's say that probably it's mostly who is checking are the bodyguards to some clubs. In that case, yes, they are gonna check it, and usually it's because they have a lot more people and they have a lot more control by the police. So that's for that reason. Let's say that the club they are more fashion now, and places who are usually crowded, they require the QR code. Anyway, besides that, you can travel, you can go anywhere throughout Russia, no problem. And the only problem is that, of course, you can't travel to many countries if you're not vaccinated, and you can't go to amusements, let's say. You can't actually enjoy amusement things, like amusement places, if you're not vaccinated. So the way to get a QR code, I repeat, is just to get injected, not only by Sputnik V, because it's let's say the best option. And I also read through internet that it's one of the best mRNA vaccine, which the best tolerated among all the vaccines that are produced all over the world. So not only this vaccine, but you can get other 4 different types of vaccine. But not all of them gives you the QR code. I think probably only 2 or 3 they can give you the QR code. And they have different value. So the best one, if you want to have a normal life and go whenever you want, it's to have the Sputnik V. And the last thing I want to tell you is that if you have the QR code, once you have the QR code and you enter the place, there are no restrictions at all whatsoever. So no wearing masks, you do not have to respect the distance between people, among the people. So absolutely normal life. So besides those places where actually you need a QR code, all the other places, of course, you have to respect the distance. Well, respect. Russian people don't really do that, like especially in public transport. But anyway, that is what it's supposed to be. Like, for example, a gym is like that. So like machines are one available and the other no. So every other machine is available, so you can't use all of them and be close to each other's. You have to wear a mask and respect the distance, and that's all. That's the only problem, let's say, problem connected to the pandemic here in Russia. So I would say that the general situation here in Russia is not that bad. But anyway, I decided to get injected, and that was my experience. Let me know in the comment if you have any questions, and see you for the next video. That's all. Bye-bye.